Hey guys, how's it going? It's Flux here, and welcome back to Fluxburgh. We're here again. After that little time lapse there, we've got this brand new section of a city starting to get some zoning in and working also on some entry points. So we have this one over here that's kind of more of a lower traffic flow entry point, but supposed to be servicing mostly just this part of a city and then on in this direction. It's actually got the 40 km/h speed limit on it, so it's a bit slower, which will kind of encourage people to use the entrances that are going to be here and over here, rather than using this one unless they're really going all the way down this direction. So that's the idea with that. But as you can see, we have some problems right now with traffic building up down this way. And what's happening is they're all trying to get over into the left lane here to merge left, go around this little roundabout here, and then come in this way, and then pretty much immediately turn right and then get out this way into the city over here. So that's kind of a problem right now. I'm not too happy with the idea of having traffic utilizing this little entry here for both this city and this part of the city. So what we're gonna have to do is most likely we're gonna have to cut out this little underpass thing here. Now it'd be pretty easy to do, honestly. But I would like to kind of wait a bit first and see what we can do with everything else first before we, like, last resort, just cut this whole thing here. Because I think that if we have an entry point that's over here, we will be using that more than we're using this thing over here for that side. So I don't know. I don't really want to cut any traffic traversing roads for you know, left side of Flux City to right side of Flux City quite yet. So we'll just leave this how it is for now. But traffic's a little bit bad in some places, but it's not horrible. I mean, it backs up pretty far, but it's all just one lane, so I'm not too concerned about that. And of course, it's actually not really even stopped. It's just people merging poorly and causing traffic to build up. So we'll see if that's a problem later on. But for now, we have this new part of the city here. I've got a few basic services down now. So we have, I think this is the fire. We've got police down this way, and we have also our hospital. I think it's here. Yeah, it's here. And there we go. So all those operating just fine, and I was beginning to start throwing down some zones. Just wanted to start having people moving in this way. Obviously, no bus lines or bus routes quite yet, so that's kind of going to be one of the main things right now. We're not going to have a lot of efficiency in the traffic department coming around this way, but that's not a big deal. We can wait for that and just slowly build up the city the way it is. So I'd like to just continue to start zoning in. Looks like right now we need some commercial actually, but as you can see, especially in areas like this that are near the hospital down this way and also near other parks on this side, we're getting some growth, which is awesome. So I'd like to continue zoning everything out over here, and I'm trying to kind of keep the commercial all in one place and also near the highways, and then the residential kind of off and away from that if we can help it. So we'll continue to do this here. I've also got this kind of interesting little entry-exit section down here with some cool, I don't know, little like pathway things. And I'm gonna actually come back probably in a future episode, maybe next episode, who knows, and do some landscaping, some foliage stuff, and really tidy up all of these little interchanges around here because right now they're pretty barren, obviously. And we'll do that once we've actually kind of finished up with all the highways. I don't want to be doing that while we're still working on the highway system, so definitely after that. So we'll do that, but anyway, we'll make sure that's all zoned out, and we can also put in some more zones for high density commercial. I may go back as well and go into Strywood and other parts of the city and just try and de-zone all that office space so we can force jobs in the industry, which should help us out a lot with filling out the giant ore mining operation that is currently empty. It'd be nice to get that thing going. I built that a while ago. We haven't even started with it yet, so it'd be nice to hopefully get that going soon. But I also don't want to be doing a whole lot of work over here quite yet until we start getting this thing filled out. I just want to make sure we have everything good with the traffic on this side before we expand in this direction. And I also want to have some more organic shapes kind of coming in towards this neighborhood back here, and I'd also like to do some terraforming kind of along these ridges here. Something like that. So let's see what we can do with that. I'm just going to make sure we have everything zoned out so that we continue growing while we're working on this. And let's see, what can we do with this? So I'd like to make an intersection here, since this is already creating an intersection anyway. Like I said before, I'd like to use the terraforming tool kind of around this area, so I'm not going to get too close to these roads over here if we can help it, but I do need to make sure we have a road branching off of this because I didn't really show this off yet, but we have kind of a nice, I wanted to split off the traffic pretty evenly because this is only like a 2-lane one-way road. So it comes in this way, and we have a split in this direction which goes and splits these two roads. We have a split in this direction which goes right or straight, and then this is a split right here, so we need one more road going straight out in this direction. But this one goes and branches off this way, and we have one more that goes off here and splits 50-50 again. So kind of a nice little sorting system that should reduce traffic in this area and get the traffic all kind of dispersed evenly without too many problems, if we can help it. But for this, I'd like to see if we can do something with this. I don't really know. Just something. I kind of think this is cool though. Maybe something like this. Not really sure. That's good actually. Let's do that. Awesome, that'll work. And then for this side, I think we'll just kind of fade into little neighborhoods and things now. I'm not really sure what else we would do with this. I don't want to have too much high density over here. So maybe this will be like the kind of bigger part of this neighborhood. So we're going to have some more high density stuff instead of just low density. So I'll try and bring that down this way if we can. Also just connect this over here. Like that. Just kind of bring this around. That's kind of nice. Yeah, the connection over here too. And then I'd like to do at least one more coming from over here. So maybe like that. And then a curve. There we go, that's good. Cool, so you can see it definitely goes from being pretty grid and high density over to our neighborhoods down here near Fluxburgh University. So that's good. Now for this piece, I'd like to have it kind of go alongside the river over here. That would be good. Let's turn off our snap tool for a minute while we do this. Just have it follow the river down this way. Then we'll connect it here pretty soon. Probably to this one. See if we can make a little. Here we go. Awesome. Maybe have the connection over here as well. Oops. That's good. And I think I'm just going to leave this here as it is. Not too worried about that. That's fine. And I think we're good on that. That should work well. That should function well. Let's do some terraforming here in a minute. I want to make sure that we don't... We kind of have this stuff planned out before we start terraforming too much. So maybe a little bit more for this backside, then we'll be done with that. At least for now. You can definitely see that we're getting lots of traffic while I'll try to like merge over to the left to turn off and then go around here just so they can turn right again. No one's really using the other entrances right now. I think there's maybe a few coming in this way and pretty much nobody using this one right now. So I may actually, yeah, you know what? I think just for now I'm going to go ahead and remove these for like 2 seconds and just see how this works. But I kind of think that by doing this, yeah, I'll just leave that for now. Try not to forget about it later on. And let's just see what that does to the traffic. Let's see what they decide to do if they decide to start utilizing this one instead. It looks like they will. And I may have to kick up the speed on this a little bit. In fact, I think I will. I don't want to encourage too much use of this one, but 40's pretty slow. Like, look at this guy. This guy's going, like, so slow. Why did I... Hang on a minute. That's weird. I thought I changed this earlier, but for some reason we have a forced left-hand turn there and a forced right-hand turn here, which causes some problems later on. They should actually be all... Here, let's try and fix this real quick. They should be optional left and right-hand turns, so you can maintain in your own lane if you want to. It's the best way to prevent any weird stuff from happening. So if we do that here, then we do that again over here on this side. So we have the right-hand turn, but it's not a forced turn, so you can also go straight if you want to. And do that over here as well. And then leave, oops. Hang on a minute, I messed that up. And we'll leave this one straight. And then, let's see. Further up ahead, I'd like to also do something similar. So again, not force that right-hand turn. That way no one has any reasons to get out of their lanes and then re-merge again later on. And then for this one, I think a forced right-hand's not a bad idea, actually, just so we can... You know, because this is like an actual split. So, it's a good idea. Alright, let's see how that goes. I'm going to also just go ahead and real quick kick the speed on this thing up a little bit beyond the 40 that it is right now. Let's try 70, 60? Let's try 60. Actually, I'm gonna do 70 because we're gonna have 100 on everything else, which means that we still have a slow enough speed that we don't have everyone using this thing instead of the main highways. But it's also efficient enough people aren't just like going all the way out here and then turning and going this way, because that seems kind of ridiculous. So we'll do that. Wait a minute, what was that? Oh, they're over here. I was like, what? Is there a building there? Okay. So they're using that now. And then for the exit, I guess the same thing can happen. We can do the full 70. And I'll just do it up here too, because why not? Kick that up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we'll see how that affects the traffic later on here. But in the meantime, how are we doing here? Okay, so I actually filled out the industry down this way. Now, obviously, we're still getting some traffic. Wow, traffic, really? Hang on a minute, that's kind of new, actually. I think that's due to merging. Yeah, it is. So, it's not really like this... Yeah, that's kind of annoying, actually. Yeah, I don't know how we can really fix that, actually. I think the big thing is going to be having a another cargo train connection down this way. It's going to have a very efficient split off, and then we'll have one here and then one, maybe not here, maybe like actually on pollution point, and then that should allow us to move cargo pretty efficiently without having all these cargo trucks everywhere, which is causing some massive traffic on our main highways. So, yeah, the question is, do we do that now or do we do it later? Well, let's see. I mean, right now we're kind of just letting all the stuff grow out, so you may as well just do it now. Yeah, let's just kind of start planning this out a little bit and figure out what we can do with this. So let me grab the, I want this to be a dedicated line too. I don't want it to be like connection to the main lines or anything like that. So let's try to do this as best we can. Let me grab the cargo train terminal. Okay. Okay, by a roadside. So first of all, let's figure out where we're going to put that over here. And I kind of want to do it... Because this one's alright, but it doesn't have a direct connection to this over here. And actually, it's really inefficient right now because it's basically just this. Sorry, I'm pointing at the incinerators. It's in a weird spot because they can't actually access it through here. They'd have to like go up and then turn around or something. I don't really know. not really a great place for it, actually. I don't even know why I had it here before. But I think we're going to move it somewhere better, if possible. I mean, it's getting use. And it's not too expensive per week either. I might just leave it how it is for now, and we'll make a different one, though, if it's in a better location. So, let me do this. Let me make a dedicated line. And we can't put it here, but what would be cool is actually to use the terraforming mod to make a little connection right here. Is that a possibility? Let's see. Let's think about this for a minute, though. It needs to have its own dedicated exit point, actually. So, how about this? How about we have the... let's put it over here, okay? But it's going to be facing this way. So hang on a minute here. Let me page up real quick and try and do this better. So you may have to delete some of this stuff. That's not a big deal. So if we have this, we'll see how close we can get without... I don't know how much space we actually need for this. Okay, so there's that. So we're going to lose a little bit of... yeah, we're gonna have to probably delete some of these buildings, but it's not a big deal. So if we do this, there we go. Then what we can do is we need to get a connection off the highway. Preferably also from here. That'll be tricky because we got some traffic merging over here as far as this far down. So that'll be tricky to work with. Wow. Like that. There we go. This will come here and connect to this. There we go. And then we'll have this thing turn around again once we get through this little section here. I want to make sure I can actually get this thing to tunnel. Let's see here. We have this like metro line here that's kind of in the way right now, but we can get around it pretty easily if we're careful. So let's see what we can do with this. Oh good, we can. That's awesome. I can go too deep actually, and that'll be easier to work with. So I'll do this. Then we'll have this thing go straight across towards our river. In fact, I'm just gonna have it curve along with this big metro, if we can, down this way. Then we're gonna pop out on the side over here. Okay. How is that? Perfect. Wow, that's actually really perfect. Okay. So now we have that. Let's connect this back to our exiting or entering traffic. So we'll do a little loop over here. This should save so much space on the highways. Like, this should be awesome. So we're gonna pull this off now because look at this. This is getting really bad, especially for the exit on this side over here. It just gets so crowded. Oh, we need to have a connection here too, don't we? Hang on a minute. We have not fixed this entirely yet. So we're gonna need to have an exit. I mean, honestly, this whole section here isn't really backing up too much. It's actually totally fine getting out. I think our main concern is actually just the traffic coming from this area over here, because this is a much larger array of goods. So we could probably just have this dedicated to this side. Not sure how I feel about that. I mean, if we just don't connect this one piece here, it just means we don't have basically these guys right here, which isn't a big deal. So I just connect this one just in case, and then everything else can be good how it is. I think we actually have a, yeah, we have a pillar there, so we gotta worry about that as well. But what if do something like this? Yeah, it was working. I saw it. I guess that's fine. Yeah, that's fine how it is. Then we'll go up this way and connect it I guess there. It'd be nice if it looked a bit cleaner. Let's try. Oops. Let's try this. There we go. Much better. So that's pretty clean. Fix the direction real quick. There we go. Okay, so yeah, definitely want to fix that if we can. The one thing is they have to pretty much go like right across traffic if they want to go down to this, which would be a little bit difficult to do. I mean, it's only the traffic coming through here that's hitting that, so it's not like a ridiculous amount of traffic, but it would definitely not be very efficient. Is there a better way? We could do some sort of underground merge that comes out. Actually, we could definitely do that. Let's just do that real quick. That'll be easier. So right now we already have an underground tunnel over here. So if we just draw off this and then go this way. So we'll do something like this. Head in this direction. Oops. More like that. Then come out of the ground right about here. Oops, we're like right underneath this one still. Hang on just a minute. Could actually connect just like that. It's probably our best bet actually. It's kind of a weird angle though. Hang on, let's fix this angle real quick. You can't even really tell that there's an angle at all because it's underground, but whatever. I like it to look clean, even if you're not seeing it. So we'll do something like this. Then go a little bit further. There we go, much better. So there's our big split. That'll avoid any traffic trying to go up here and then down again. And then we'll just go ahead and draw out our actual train line here. Okay, so we're kind of close to the water now. See if we can get up and get ready to connect here. Whoops. Yeah, definitely close to the water over here. And there we go. Awesome. Okay, and then for this side, so this goes all the way down here, and then once we get to this side, so there's our let off for all of our commercial in this area, which isn't much actually. Is that looking for raw materials or shipments? Goods to sell. Okay. So we got that, and then I want to have one more split though, but it's a bit sooner than that. So we've actually got one here, but that's not what I want to use. I want this to split and go underneath everything, and then come out. Okay, this could be tricky. It needs to be a shorter path than driving on the highway. So we're gonna need to have, probably gonna have to just go straight underneath the city here. So let's just do that real quick. Let's just have this come this way. We're gonna have to go deeper for this part, definitely. Can I build on water? Oh wow. I think this is actually at the deepest level that it can go, the water is, so we can't go underneath it, at least in this part. So we're gonna have to actually, we're gonna have to go along the shore a little bit first, so we can get to a part that's not so deep. So I dug this stuff out super deep because this whole dam needed like a lot of extra room to flood the water out, and then this part especially because we have this big island here, we had to dig this whole thing super deep as well. So here's the crossing point then. We're going this way, so we're not really making anything any longer than it needs to be, so that's good. So we'll just go ahead and make a little cross right here. Oops. Kind of hard to work with this right now. Let's try and get a bit of a cleaner bridge piece here. Yeah, we'll do something like that. That's better. And actually, we'll just do something like this. There we go. And then a new connection on this side. Maybe a bit lower to the ground though. And I don't want this to flood, so that would be something to worry about. Hopefully we can avoid any flooding with this. Gotta be careful about that. This place is very prone to flooding, so gotta be careful. Alright, so that's a good spot to go back in again. Let's try this. Oops, did not want to draw that. Whoops. Alright. And go underneath again. There we go. Awesome. And then that can connect to the future site of our new... Oh wow, lots of tunnels to work with. Okay, let's get pretty deep here so we can avoid that stuff. Okay, new plan. Last, final good idea. This is gonna work. So we're gonna have a little bit of a curve in this direction before we go uphill this way, like this. Then we'll go uphill again, a little bit more, like this. That's a little bit janky though. Let's try and make this a bit more smooth, because I know we can. So we'll go double up like this, a bit less like that though. Okay, how's that? That's better. We'll just keep on turning. Across here, come on. Come on. Yes, that's gonna work. This is gonna work, guys. We're good to go. And we'll cross this way. Start bringing it down again. Try and do it one big swoop so we have a cleaner look. There we go. Awesome, that's perfect. Okay, there we go. So there's that. And then we'll just go up to here, do a little underpass, and then get over to the backside so we can have our new connection. Alright, so obviously getting a little carried away here with our cargo train system, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit and let us just kind of finish all this stuff off and get hopefully a road network sorted out for the exit point near Flux City so we can get on with the rest of the episode. So I'll just kind of speed through this a bit and I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, we're back here with a brand new little cargo bay system here with the cargo dock for cargo coming in from the cargo ships. We also have this little dual cargo train section over here, so this one will feed off into our existing line here. It goes all the way down and back towards the pollution point down this way. Then we have this one over here, which will be dedicated to our gigantic ore mining facility. We're going to have some sort of exiting cargo section probably around this area over here, kind of near the exit of the highway. And I really want to have basically like a little in and out section, kind of like over on this side, that lets all of our traffic coming from over here just hop on into the cargo train area and then jump back in line again to go back to the ore mining facility instead of using up all of our lane space down here on these highways. So hopefully that works out and we get to do that with no problems. I do want to make sure that we have good connections from here and coming in this way, so we're not basically creating more traffic than we already have kind of coming in on this road over here. So right now we have some traffic backed up from all of these cargo trucks and things, shipping trucks coming in from pollution point down this way. So hopefully by doing this, what we'll do is we'll split up the traffic from the cargo from our mining facility and the cargo from pollution point down this way, and be able to handle all that stuff with just 2 of these cargo train ports. So again, I'm not really positive how effective these things are in reducing, I should say, the traffic from just like cargo trucks and things, but I'm pretty sure that these will actually significantly reduce the amount of traffic on the highways. So hopefully that's the truth and we don't have any problems with that. But that's it for today. We got this thing done. I made all these connections, got the highway thing sorted out. We're going to have this continue on this way and then probably dead end over here by this road for the rest of the city anyway. I also made a connection over here on this side and kind of topped off some of these connections that weren't actually fully done. So some of these routes didn't actually have basically options to go in every direction, including the airport. So that's all there now. So next episode, we're going to come back and we'll probably open up this whole area over here and we'll connect the cargo train port over here to the ore mining facility. We'll start zoning this. Hopefully, I say that every single time, but maybe this time we'll actually start zoning that. And we will also expand on the city a bit more and finish off these highway connections over here. And then I'm really looking forward to the episode where we get to actually start making this look nice, you know, throwing in some nice trees, some nice foliage. I want to do what I did over here, or what I did over here, I should say, kind of over here. So have some nice little tall trees and nice foliage and all that stuff, which I like a lot. I like to do this kind of cool foliage work for, you know, highway exits and all that stuff. So we'll try and incorporate that over here on this side and make this look nice and pretty, and we'll also expand the city in this direction. So that's the plan. Hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.